Mojang recently announced the idea of taking a different creative direction when it comes to trading with villagers, and most notably regarding everyone's favorite type of villager, and that is the Librarian. Making trades such as mending and unbreaking a little bit harder to get. How, you might ask? For example, in order to get a mending enchantment, you would need a villager that was born in a swamp biome, and in order to get an unbreaking enchantment, you would need a villager that was born in a jungle biome. And what makes this a little more tricky is the simple fact that jungle villages and swamp villages don't exist. So, rather than spending our time transporting villagers, because that's so much fun, we're going to be building a very, very big librarian trading hall. So let's get started. So in our library build, I want it to feel like an actual library. So we're going to be using a whole bunch of bookshelves, obviously. And I also want to use the new block, the chiseled bookshelf. But we're going to use this block to divide up the library into certain sections of the library. We're only going to do it for a couple books, like all the important books, like mending and unbreaking and stuff like that. Because if we did it for all the books, that would be insane. Also in the library, I do want to put an enchanting table set up somewhere in there because currently, this is our enchanting setup, and it's been stashed in here with all the rest of these villagers that we have not had a place for in this world yet. And don't worry, buddies. We're going to be getting you located in a nice big library. Don't worry, I'm building something for you guys specifically. And not only that, I do want the library to have a couple dark secrets. But we'll get to that later in the episode. For now, we can focus on the exterior, and that means we have to gather some materials. Block powder is very important in Minecraft builds, and it's something that I struggle getting creative with. So today, the struggle continues because we're going to be building this out of mainly stone, but that does not mean it still won't look good. So we collected up a decent amount of stone here, and while stone is going to be the main building block, I do want to have a couple accent blocks, and I think we're going to use nether brick, so like what we have up here on these builds. So the nether brick up here, and then I also want to use deep slate, so we can actually gather some of that. So we'll do that on a very quick time lapse, just like this. Alright, so in all these shulker boxes, we collected a lot of netherrack. As you can see, we're going to throw this all in our super smelter, and we can flick this on and should be in business. Now we just got to wait for all of this to melt down into netherrack. Yeah, we're probably going to be waiting on this for a while. So about an hour and a half for me and literally 1 second for you. This is all the nether brick that we have now, and this should be enough. Now with all that out of the way, let's see what we can come up with. We're working with a shape that looks kind of like this. So these little spots here are going to be towers. We're gonna have more towers here. It's gonna be a very grand build. I'm excited to start building it up and see what it looks like. I think first we can start working on the towers because the towers should be pretty much selling point of the whole entire build. Alright, so we got one tower built up out of 4. So this is what the front tower is going to look like. And I am trying to use Light Manica, the mod, and this mod is just not for me. So yeah, if that time lapse looked a little weird, it's because it was. I suck at using this mod, and I probably will never use it again after this. Well, everything was going pretty smoothly till a creeper party took place right here. Goodness gracious, there's 4 creepers, and for some reason I just missed all 4 of them. They blew up and wrecked what I have been working on. Very, very nice, very, very cool distraction. All right, let's continue. So, after a long time, and I do mean long. And why did it take so long, you might ask, or not? Well, dear viewer, the answer to that question will be addressed on a community post, most likely sometime after this video. But for now, let's focus on what you clicked on this video for, and that is to build or watch me build. Anyways, we have all of the blocks placed for the exterior, and this is what it's looking like so far. It's looking pretty good, pretty grand. I actually really like the exterior. The easiest thing and the most necessary thing to do right now is texture a little bit, because golly, this is doesn't look bad, but it's very plain. So what I'm gonna do is, since we're using mainly stone bricks, I think we can use some smooth stone, some andesite, some cobblestone, maybe some tough block, the mossy stone variants, and then also I do want to use some cracked stone bricks, and I think that will end up looking pretty good. So something kind of like this. Coming back to the super smelter for the second time in this video, we are going to throw the stone bricks up in here in order to melt them down for cracked stone bricks. I'm very glad that we made this build. So unfortunately, I forgot that this is packed full of netherrack at the moment, and I do mean packed. So for right now, what we will do while we're waiting on that, we can go back over to the library build and start taking out some blocks where we are going to texture. So I definitely want to texture along the bottom. And the way that I texture is a little bit different. If I don't texture while I'm making the build, then I'll go back and just make some random mess and then come back and fill it in with random blocks. This is probably not the most efficient way to texture walls in Minecraft, but hey, we'll see how this looks. I think I'm just gonna fill all these spaces with the smooth stone for now. So grabbing a little bit of the smooth stone, let's see how this looks. Not smooth stone, I'm sorry, regular stone. And already that looks a lot better than that. So we'll come back in here and we'll put in the cobblestone and maybe some tough block and the mossy variants as well. So I will get back to you guys when this is all textured up and ready to move on to the next step. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played hardcore in a couple months, and that was very close. I just had a mini heart attack. My goodness. That was spooky. Wow. Okay, well, other than that, we did end up getting most of the bottom of the library, even the interior, textured. We're still gonna come back in and, you know, do a little bit more with that. Not used to playing hardcore, man. I've been playing regular schmegular mode, and my goodness, whew, that was scary. Hey, bud. High five. Let's go see if the stone bricks have melted down yet. Nope. All right, let's do this again. All right, so finally, after a couple months, we are back and we have the cracked stone bricks. All right, now that we added the cracked stone, we can go around adding some mossy stone. All right, a little more decoration added to the exterior. We're coming around with some oak leaf blocks and some rose bushes. Kind of spice up the entrance a little bit. It was looking a little plain, but I think this looks really good. Don't want to do too much. Building at night in hardcore is always risky, but we're here doing it anyways. And while we are decorating the outside, we might as well start spicing up the windows just a little bit. I'm gonna do kind of the same type of design that you've seen me do if you have followed this channel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the trapdoors and then upside down stair here, get a little shablam and a shabloom. I like the pop of red from the red rose and the red rose bushes. That looks very good. But as far as the exterior goes, I think we can start moving on to the interior, because the interior is, well, empty. There's a lot to be done in here. I actually have no idea what I want to do because there's a lot of awkward spaces in here. I definitely want to dig down and make this a little bit bigger. That way there can be like a couple of floors maybe stacked on top of each other. But yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll do it together. And while we are planning for the interior of the library build, I do want to set up a temporary bamboo farm. That way when we go to make all the chiseled bookshelves and all the bookshelves, we have a source of wood. So yes, we are working smarter, not harder. All right, so I added some type of weird contraption here. Hopefully that works out. Let's try it. Oh yeah, I am a redstone genius. Yes. All right, now that we have this temporary piece of hoopla behind us, we can start focusing on doing the interior of the library build. And yes, I did add a little bit more decoration on the outside. So, you know, we put a couple stones here because, you know, we're pro Minecrafters and pro Minecrafters put stones on the floor. Anyways, we also switched out some of these for stairs just so it looks a little more weathered. And then also we added like a nice arch made out of stone as well. Just gives it a little bit more depth. So with my idea, when it comes to the interior, obviously, you know, the floor floor is not going to be grass. So I think what I want to do is dig down a couple levels, like I said earlier in the episode. I want there to be like kind of like lofty open areas, if that makes sense. So while this churns out some bamboo, we are going to be digging and placing stone. So yeah, we're going to do that on a time lapse though, because that's kind of boring, and hopefully we can get a lot of bamboo while we do that. So time lapse. Alright, so after a little while of digging, this is what we have. And yes, it does look like poo, but that is okay because we can fix that with all the materials that we collected from digging this out, which are stored here. Yes, we're going to use all this, turn it into stone, and make it look pretty good. But anyways, after the quick update, let's get back to the time lapse. Well, we took out all the dirt from the walls, and though it looks better, it still looks not so good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go around and texture just like we did on the top. So yeah, rather than seeing the same thing for the third time in this episode, we'll just do a quick shablang. All right, literally half a second has gone by and the walls are, you know, a little bit more textured. So I cleared out another level for the floor, and I kind of want to use quartz as the flooring, which means that we would have to go to the nether to gather a bunch of quartz in order to make quartz blocks for the floors, which is, you know, kind of risky because this is hardcore and we can lose our entire world if we're not careful, but I think it'll be worth it. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I do not have a totem of undying, and yeah, so if I die, there's no totem of undying, so I'm dead and the world is gone. But anyways, that should be a fun time. Let's go collect some quartz and see how that works. Oh, here we are back in my favorite place. We are on the lookout for that stuff there, so let's gather some. So after trading with some villagers and mining a little bit of quartz in the nether, this is the amount of quartz blocks that we have so far, and hopefully that should be enough. If not, we're just gonna have to go back to the nether, but hopefully that is not the case. So I don't want to use actual quartz blocks. What I want to use is quartz bricks, because these look way better than the quartz blocks, at least for a floor. So yeah, let's go ahead and slap these down. So we got all the quartz placed down, and I guess what we can work on now is a floor plan. Like I said earlier, probably have like some like balconies around the outside and have the middle nice and open, and then having bookshelves on the sides, obviously. And then maybe on the top balcony is where we'll have the villagers to trade. So for the floor plan, I think that I'm going to want to use spruce wood mostly for all the, you know, stairs and stuff. So yeah, we can go collect that. And actually, before we get the spruce wood, what I want to do is go to the end stronghold. That way we can find some libraries and, you know, take all the books, because I don't feel like trading for that many books. So yeah, we'll do that now actually. So down in the stronghold, we finally found a library, so we can take these books and bring it back to our library. Alright, so we are back from the stronghold, and this is what we got while we were there. So that is a lot of bookshelves. And then also we got a little bit of enchanted books, which is always nice, and some smithing templates. So that's always good too. And then we also cut down some trees, and then this is the amount of bamboo that we got from the farm that we set up earlier in the episode. And we're going to use that, like I said, for chests and barrels, and then book and quills for the lecterns, just to make it look a little better. So now we can start setting up, and I think what I want to set up first is the entrance. Okay, so for the entrance, I'm thinking when you walk in, there's going to be a little platform, kind of like a foyer area. I don't know if that's how you say it, but don't judge me. Anyways, we can start lining that up with some spruce wood. I don't know how exactly I'm going to decorate it. We're going to play with the blocks and see how we want to do that. I think to save some blocks though, I'm going to use slabs up here. So yeah, let's give it a go. All right, so right now we're going to do the whole balcony section. So we got the platform for the top placed in, and I think now what we can do is focus on doing the railing. So I left a 4 wide space, that way the railing can be on this block, and we have 3 spaces to walk through. And then on this side, this is where the villagers that we're going to be able to trade are, and also on that side. As far as the railing goes, I think we should work out a design for the railing, and then also I want to put some pillars probably on the corners of this, that way, you know, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. We're going to add some pillars. I'm not sure if I want to add quartz pillars or wooden pillars, so I guess we can try both and see. Looking at it from this angle, it looks like the wood makes more sense, so I think we're just going to go with the wooden pillars all around here. So we can go ahead and add those in, and then after that we can work out the railing for the top here. All right, so we added all the spruce pillars. So what I had in mind is put some barrels around the bottom just like this, and then on top of the barrels I'm going to put some upside down stairs, and then on top of the upside down wooden stairs we're going to add some spruce fences, and on top of the spruce fences we can can add some candles. And we are going to light these candles, of course. Give it a nice library vibe. And you may have noticed we added a little bit of support for the pillar as well. And then more stairs on top of that. And then we added some lights on all the bottom pillars. And I think that this is coming together pretty nicely. Oh, we also added some supports on the sides as well, some stone supports. So back up top, we can start working out a railing now. I did place a couple blocks in just to kind of get an idea of what I want to do. And I don't think I like this too much, so we can go ahead and take this out. And something that I think will make a little bit more sense for a railing is lecterns. Yes, that is going to be a lot of lecterns, but I think it should look better than whatever this is. So yeah, I think we can sacrifice. All right, so grabbing some lecterns, we're just going to place these all just like this, and then we're going to take some spruce trapdoors and place them on top. So this should make a nice railing. It should look pretty nice from the bottom here. Let's see how that looks. Yes, that looks really good actually. So yes, we're gonna go with this design instead of the other one because the other one was kind of trash. On the corners, what I want to do is place the big pots. Does that look good? It does look good. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Add some green in here. For this design here, what you do is you place down a big pot, you crouch, place a small pot on top of the big pot. We'll take a dead bush, put it in the small pot, crouch again, aim at the top of the small pot. And you got yourself a nice little bush here. Coming around on the sides, we're adding white banners to the trim of the outside of the balcony. Chat, do we like this? How are we feeling about this, chat? So we ended up taking out the white banners. Well, we left some on the sides. We didn't have to go too crazy. We just put the spruce signs in there. I think that's a nice blend of things. It makes it look pretty nice down here. Now we can try to figure out where we want to place all of these bookshelves and chiseled bookshelves. So for this side here, I think I'm just going to place bookshelves all along this wall. That way, you know, it kind of looks like a library. So let's do that now. Alright, so after we added the bookshelves in, this definitely adds a library type of atmosphere. It looks good, but it is looking a little bit too uniform, so I think I want to add like a little bit of a design in the bookshelves. That looks nice. I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. We're going to come around and add some spruce pillars right here, just because this is a dead space. Alright, so with the bookshelves added into both sides, that looks pretty good. I'm liking the atmosphere that it's creating. Right now, what I want to do is try to add like some type of hallways with bookshelves, and maybe we might even have this be the book-specific hallway. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably come out a couple blocks, 1 2 3, a couple blocks in the middle, 1 2 3, and then boom, just like this. So we're working with something kind of like this. I'm gonna place some upside down stairs and a trapdoor just like that, and then also place upside down stairs on the outside. All right, so something like this, that looks pretty nice. Coming in the spaces that we left ourselves here, we're gonna put some shroom lights with some maybe not that. So we'll get some nether fences, and that looks a lot better. All right, now we're cooking. So coming back through here, we're actually going to take these out because we're going to put the chiseled bookshelves, and this is going to be the spot for the specific types of enchanted books. So I want to place hanging signs here. That way we can label what kind of books are in these specific spots. As of right now, I don't know where all the specific books are going to go, so I'm going to leave them blank. So I was coming through here, putting lanterns on these posts for light, and apparently you can hang a lantern off of a hanging sign. It's very interesting. I'm actually kind of curious now. I wonder if you can hang a hanging sign from a lantern. Whoa. That almost got me. So after like 15 minutes of messing around with the design for the front of this is what I came up with. It's nothing crazy, but it'll get the job done. And in the back corners over here, we'll probably have another section for a specific type of book, and then these are going to be where the staircases are. So I did end up already making a staircase over here on this side. Yeah, it's just a spiral staircase, and that's how we're going to get up and down from the top and bottom floors. So we came through in the back corners and actually added a little stall here for a villager to trade with, and we also did the same thing on the other side. There it is, boom, just like that. And then we went around to all the towers and added in the nice spiral staircases. It's coming together really nicely. Actually, this is probably my favorite library build that I've ever made. It's looking really promising. But other than that, we did come through and we did label these sides for fortune. We have silk touch on this side, we have efficiency, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put here yet. And then back here we're going to have the mending books and unbreaking books. So right now what I think we're going to do is trade some villagers so we can get this looking a little beefier and have a better supply of enchanted books. So we can do that right now actually. Alright, so we got some efficiency, we got some silk touch, and we got some unbreaking 3 books. Right here is where the efficiency goes, so we can take these out and fill them in. It's going to hit these in a couple random spots here. So yeah, we're not going to fill these up completely because that would be way too many books, but I do want to have a collection of the enchanted books just in case we ever need it in the future. I think for mending, we are going to have a couple more because mending goes on everything, and then also unbreaking, we are going to have a couple more as well. So unbreaking will go on these 2 walls, and then mending is going to go here on this wall. Alright, so now that we have the books placed in, it's looking a little bit better, a little more full. So fortune, silk touch, efficiency. Chat, what book are we putting here? Let me know in the comments. All right, so with the books getting placed in, I think that's going to be it for the bottom floor, and it's looking really good down here. I haven't made too many library builds, but this has been really fun, the bottom half of this area. So now we can move up to the trash can up top and work on making that look a lot better, because right now it doesn't look that great. So let's do that now. So shifting our focus upstairs, we did add the enchanting setup in this little room here, and I do like how this came out. We added a little bit of crying obsidian because we love crying obsidian, and some of the amethyst crystals. That way it looks a little bit I don't know, enchanted. Anyways, we also added a little bit of storage, and obviously a grindstone and an anvil and another anvil, because you know they break over time. Anyways, we got some storage back here, and this is definitely better than our enchanting setup that we had previously. So that is a check off the list. So now that we have upgraded our enchanting setup and it's done, I want to turn our attention to these walls over here to start setting up where we're going to place the villagers, and I want to work on a design, so we'll do that together. All right, so first I'm thinking we can line up the bookshelves just like this. Perfect. So for the pillars in between, we can use spruce wood. So we're going to have this all along the sides. That way the villagers have their own spots. We can strip these down. And after we get this stripped down, we can add some upside down stairs. On top of the upside down stairs, I want to use some oak trap doors. So let's grab those and we can slap these up here just like this. All right, so we have something that's looking like this. So far it's looking pretty dark, so we can add the lights in. And I put the lights on this level. That way the villagers cannot jump out, because we're going to have the lecterns in fronts like this. Going to throw in some deep slate tile walls. And on top of the walls, we're going to put a potted plant. And I want to use the torch flowers for the plants in the pots. So up top here, I'm going to place a dark oak sign. That way we know which villager is which. Then come around here, add some barrels here, and perfect. Nice. This is the type of design we're working with, and it looks pretty good. So this leaves 14 spaces for villagers, which is a lot. We probably are not going to need that much, but it's better to have more than less, I guess. So with the villager stalls placed in, what we're going to do now is work on a ceiling, and I'm actually going to do that off camera because that's kind of tedious and a little time consuming. So we'll just cut back to when that's done. So we did come through and place in the ceiling. All it really is just trapdoors, upside down stairs, slabs, and glowstone with oak trapdoors as well. So with the ceilings added in, all that's missing now are the librarians, and if you haven't forgotten, the dark secret that I promised earlier in the episode. So I think we're going to put the villagers in first, and then I will leave the dark secret for last, because it is kind of fun and I am excited to show you guys what that is. So as far as getting the villagers in these spots, I think what I'm going to do is set up a minecart system to export all the villagers into these spots, and we're going to do that off camera because that is also not fun to watch. So yeah, we'll cut back again to when we have some librarians in here. So I was just doing some quick trading with some farmers to get some emeralds so I can start trading for some redstone, because we need redstone blocks for the transport system. And I went to come over here to see who we're going to transport first, and to my surprise, all of the villagers are now zombie villagers. I suspect that unfortunately the main culprit would be an enderman, because this grass block is not supposed to be here and I would never have put that there. So I'm sure an enderman put this here, and then maybe a baby zombie jumped in here from that, and yeah, whooped all of our villagers. So we got the troops rallied up here, and that was a lot harder than I wanted it to be. They kept picking up the boats. Hopefully that hit all of them. If not, we're gonna have to get another potion. I didn't. Yep, didn't hit this guy. Nice. All right. Well, we'll start converting these fellas here, and try not to die while we're doing that. Bruh. My gosh, getting smacked right now. So after a very long and tedious process, we got this side of the villagers placed into their booths, and we haven't labeled it yet, but we're going to come back and do that. And then this side only has one villager. We'll end up filling these up over the course of this world. Now we can move into the final part of the video, and that is the dark secrets of the library. But what I did back here is I put a little secret entrance right here behind this nice little painting. In that spot, we're actually going to put the nether portal, because right now our nether portal is still down here in this temporary spot in our strip mine. So yeah, this needs a better place to go. And then also building this nether portal, I'll probably end up putting the one in the library on the nether roof, because I do want to make nether farms, especially a gold farm that would come in handy for this world. So yeah, we're going to build out the room and get it all set up with the portal inside. All right, so we've been working on the nether entrance. This is what we have so far. We lined up the walls with some black stone, and we did the floors with quartz. And then coming back over here, this is the nether entrance. And surprisingly, we end up where we ended up before in the nether. So I guess it's not far enough distance in the overworld to change the spawn. So that's kind of good. But other than that, yeah, this is looking pretty much finished. We got some soul campfires, some soul lanterns, a lot of chains, some crimson stem. We made like a weird design out of glazed terracotta. I thought that would be cool. Also, I wanted wanted it to be kind of dark in here, so all the light is coming from the soul lanterns and the soul campfires. All right, so finishing up the last part of the library, taking a look back at what we accomplished this episode, we ended up building a giant library, and in the library we placed all of our librarian villagers, so now we have a proper place to trade them. On top of that, we made easily one of my favorite interiors in this world so far. I really like how everything came together in here. You can let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed the episode, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and growing this community. Again, thank you guys for all your support. I'm feeling really inspired to get back into this world and get back on the grind. Other than that, until next time, be easy. Now that's meta commentary. Bro, if the recording's off again, I'm gonna be pissed.